Hi guys, Gretchen here. This is going to be a meditation and scrying video. Scrying, we're going to get into that in just a minute. Meditation, you're pretty familiar with, right? And to sit there in like lotus and do those meditations. Not the meditations I'm talking about. Meditations I'm talking about, yes, we can get to the where you can sit there and do that and be really quiet and centered. However, a lot of us, when we sit still, that's when all the things flood into our brain. All of the things, like the 300 open tabs that you can't get closed, so the oming are going to help because your brain keeps getting sent. This is called chita vritti. I call it chitter chatter. So the chitter chatter in your brain, we're going to get that to be quiet. How are we going to do that? So meditation has a calming effect on the brain. It reduces the hyperactivation in the areas like the amygdala. So the amygdala is associated with fear, threat, and trauma. Kindness-based meditations change how we perceive reality. So it reduces those fear-based responses, and it gives us greater mental control of the cognitive processes, allowing us to more accurately process the feelings, to manage the anxiety, and to like really not have things become huge, like a huge problem, when they don't need to be. So I know some people who, like, no matter what happens, they're calm, they're cool, they're collected, they're okay. They'll take what comes at them in stride and with calmness, and you don't understand they can do this. And you can get annoyed by them, but mostly because you want to be them. You can get rid of that anxious brain through meditation. This also helps build mental resiliency and ultimately is what we need to manage our anxiety. With that anxiety managed, we will manage that overproduction of those hormones, keeping our gut and our brain healthy, allowing us to recover from our trauma a lot better. All right, so I did say different forms of meditation. And scrying. Scrying. Yeah, scrying is like, it's meditation, but it's meditation plus. So up next, forms of meditation. Okay, so different forms of meditation, because I said it's more than just right? Focusing on that third eye. Yoga is a form of meditation. Bicycling, jogging, hula hooping, poi balls, swimming, surfing, any form of physical activity, because you match your breath to the movement. Whether or not you realize it, you do match your breath to the movement, so that's a form of meditation. All of those are forms of meditation. Hula hooping, dancing, twerking, big form of meditation. Get those hips going. Plus getting those big hip movements going. Amazing for when you're doing your trauma recovery. There are other forms of meditation too, where you can just lay on the ground and stare at the clouds. What? Did you ever do that when you were a little kid? Just lay on the ground and stare at the clouds? Maybe that was a me generation thing. Anyway, that brings us to our next little segment over here, scrying. When we scry, we send a message to our unconscious mind asking for parts of information that we don't have. That part of our mind then projects symbols and images into our scrying material and conveys the information to our conscious from our subconscious. These symbols and images are translated by the scryer into the meaning. So whether that be by the person sitting, the scrying person is the one who translates it. So scrying is a form of meditation. And what is scrying? So scrying is also linked to psychics. It's linked to Nostradamus' predictions. It's linked to all of that. I'm going to grab my paper. All right, paper. So scrying, it is also big, goes back as far as China 3000 BC, Egypt 2500 BC, and these are recorded things. It probably goes back way further than this. Greece 2000 BC. Nostradamus, probably one of the most noted scryers. He would scry into a brass bowl of water on a tripod, and he'd wait for that flicker to come through, and that's how he would get his predictions. Usually when you scry, you use a material such as water, tea leaves or coffee grounds, an obsidian mirror or a regular mirror, Like, and when I say water, I don't necessarily mean a bowl of water. It could be a lake, it could be a pond, it could be ocean waves. Anything that allows you to sit there and soften your gaze and just kind of let it be smoky and create a beautiful background for your visions, basically. What else can be used? Fire can be used. Fire is a difficult one, though, and you do have to remember to soften that gaze immediately and not steer directly into the fire because you will burn your retinas. Clouds, those are great ones to scry with. And these are all meditations. Scrying is meditation. You are matching your breath. You're not really moving, but you're calming your brain and concentrating on one point. Smoke is a great one. And crystals. So you can concentrate either on crystals such as this. This is a beautiful little jasper that I have. It's I believe it's a Picasso jasper. But do you see all the little things in it? So if I soften my gaze and I stared at that, some really magical patterns will probably appear in that. I mentioned other things with crystals. So crystal balls, this is where crystal balls come into play. The mediums will scry into their crystal ball. Obsidian or clear quartz crystal are usually the recommended, or usually the ones that people go for. I say obsidian. Some people use jet. They go with that even further back, darker crystal. Dark crystals are amazing. They are the protectors of the world. This is a nice chunk of obsidian I got down in Arkansas when we went to Wegner Crystal Mines a couple of years ago. So obsidian, because it's so shiny, you can find some scrying mirrors for that, and you will just literally stare into that. When you scry into things like mirrors or water, I do recommend that you have a light source so that you get a little bit of flickering, so that it will like say, hey, wakey, wakey, subconscious. Give the conscious some messages. And we did say water, lakes, and all of that, ponds. If you sit there, I remember running away to the ocean when I was a little kid and sitting there on the rocks and just like softly staring at the waves. I was scrying and I didn't even know it. I was also meditating and did not know it. And healing with the salt water. All types of stuff. Go with your instincts with this stuff too, and vibe with the ones that vibe with you. You're not going to vibe with all of them. Smoke could either come from a candle. Well, hopefully your candle's not smoking. Come from fires. Clearly smoke comes from fire. Smoke is going to be one of the harder ones to scry with because unless you were sitting outside at a campfire, you're really not going to see a lot of smoke in your life, right? I really vibe with water scrying, and I really vibe with cloud scrying because I loved laying out on my back in the ground when I was a little kid and staring at the clouds and making all the shapes out of them. So it's very much about being present in your presence, not present as in what is all going on around you. Present as in you are here in this moment, in this place. For instance, today I am here in this moment recording this video on this couch, wearing these clothes, sitting here with this water. I'm going to softly stare into it. And I'm going to let my gaze get softer and softer. Get that kind of softer gaze. Don't just stare at it. Soften that gaze. And within a few minutes, you can start to see shapes or start to see whatever. And just make up your own little stories with them. And you will learn the best way for you to meditate with scrying. Now, if you're using this to develop your psychic abilities, I would recommend doing this on a daily basis. And yes, psychic abilities, I said it. Everybody has the gifts. We have just chosen not to use these muscles for millennia. You can redevelop them. Your third eye has rods and cones like your eyeballs. The pineal gland is an important part. Also, nourish that pineal gland by going outside bare-eyed at least 30 minutes a day. We need some vitamins from the sunshine that cannot get through our plastic and glass world, meaning glasses, sunglasses. They just don't, all the vitamins don't penetrate through there. So we receive those beautiful vitamins from the sunshine. They hit the pineal gland via our eyes, nourish that pineal gland, and in doing so, not only nourish it and allow you to get these meditations going faster and develop the psychic centers faster, but it also instigates the natural production of melatonin, which allows you to sleep better by going outside, simply by going outside and not having a piece of glass or plastic between your eyes and the sun. Don't stare at the sun, you'll go blind. Just don't have anything between you. I know, like, I walk around squinting half the time. And I'm okay with the wrinkles. I'd rather have the healthy brain. So, I'm good with my little squirrely smile lines. Ah! They're like, they're coming at this point. So, I'd rather have the healthy brain. Anyway, if you have questions for me, you guys know my email. Reach out. I'll help you with what I can. I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, I did want to throw this out here for you. Another famous scryer. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all? She was a mirror scryer. Anyway, until next time, namaste. And please plant a tree for me. That was my phone. Please plant a tree for me and Mother Earth. Peace.